What's up guys, and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Today's video is dedicated to top 5 mistakes that first time home buyers make. And this video is actually applicable to every market. I named it for Calgary, but obviously wherever you are in Canada or even the United States, this video is going to be really applicable to your situation as well. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and let's begin. Mistake number 1, not having a mortgage pre-approval. This is the big one, guys. I get it all the time. People are coming and they don't have a mortgage pre-approval, or they do have a mortgage pre-approval, but in a different place. Let's say in Ontario or from British Columbia, but you're coming, let's say, to Calgary, that's where I am, and you want to buy a place, a home in this city. Now, you're still searching for a house, and next thing you know is, well, you get into a situation where you placed an offer, you like the place, you think you have the money, you waive the inspection condition, you're about to become a homeowner, and voila, you come to know that the lender in that province doesn't want to pay for your house here in Alberta, here in Calgary. But that is a situation of someone who actually had some sort of pre-approval from a different province. A bigger concern that I have, and that is a lot of times, guys, is not having a mortgage pre-approval whatsoever. People come and they don't know what they can really afford, what to search for, and they start shopping around assuming they have something, and then they fall in love with the place. They didn't have a mortgage pre-approval. They start placing an offer. There is a chance that you might not get that kind of mortgage in the house that you already put your hopes up for, the house that you already given your deposit for, the house that you already spent so much of time and your emotions to get it. You end up not getting it without the mortgage pre-approval. And also, even if you get that house, even if you're pre-approved for that amount, it might take you a lot of more time, a lot of more stress. Having a mortgage pre-approval, it's a huge benefit. You get that confidence on how much money you have. You get that confidence that the lender is going to give you that money. You are also showing your credit worthiness to the person that is selling the place. For example, that you can afford that place. It's easier to negotiate in terms of a price and a better deal when you're buying your own place. So having mortgage pre-approval definitely increases your credibility and chances for success in terms of real estate transactions. If you're planning to buy a home, let's say here in Calgary. Another huge mistake that I see a lot of people do, not knowing their budget. If you don't know your budget, here's what's happening. You start looking at the houses that you might not be able to afford. You are starting to look at the neighborhoods where the houses are really expensive. So you start shopping out of your budget a lot of times. And then once you find out your budget, after let's say you spend some time looking at the properties with some real estate agent who was not experienced enough to tell you about the budget part. So you went around, you looked at different places, and then you found out with your mortgage pre-approval that you can't afford any of those ones, and now you're disappointed, you're unhappy, and you also might be even emotionally hurt because now you were shopping for something more expensive. You got to know that you cannot afford something like that, and you are having less confidence in your self-worthiness in terms of financial ability to purchase something. That's not a good feeling, guys, and that's what I'm trying to say. That's why it's important to know your budget. And honestly, guys, once you know your budget, you know if you're the location where you are going to be buying the place, you know the square footage, whether you're going to be buying 1,100 square feet, which is pretty nice size too, or you're going to be buying 2,500 square feet because you have all the time in your life to keep on cleaning that place. A huge house I'm talking about. And you can also look at the location, the age of the house, the renovation state, other things that are necessary, and all this combined, it all depends on the budget. In some cases, you won't be able to afford buying a house, and I mean, you might be able to afford an older house in a location where you don't like it. You might be able to afford like a townhouse, let's say, which is almost like a house, less hassle, lots of benefits of having. I'll make a separate video about it for you guys. But really, you would be able to know what you're searching for once you know your budget, whether it's going to be an apartment, whether it's going to be a townhouse or a semi-detached house or a fully detached house like a regular one. You know where to buy, and you'll be so much more happier. That's why it's important to have your mortgage pre-approved. That's why it's important to know how much down payment you have before you start searching for places, because it's emotionally difficult for first-time home buyers, and a lot of disappointing news once you find something that you really like, but you cannot buy it. It can be really hurtful. So know your budget. Another big mistake that people make, well, it's not hiring a realtor. Real estate agent, guys, and I'm not talking it because I am a realtor. By the way, my contact information and a brokerage and everything is in the description of this video, so give me a call if you need my help, alright? And smash the like button. Now, here's why I'm going to explain to you why you should be actually hiring a real estate agent besides being a real estate agent. First of all, guys, it is when you're shopping for a house, first-time home buyer, how often do you shop for a house? When was the last time you bought a house? Usually few transactions in a lifetime, but people are buying houses. It's not that often. Real estate agents do it on a day-to-day basis, working in this industry, especially full-time. So regardless of where you are, in Canada, in Alberta, wherever in the United States, real estate agents, they're professionals who are doing that. They're licensed, they're trained, and they're doing it for a living. So when you are shopping, let's say, by yourself, how do you know the current market state, whether it's buyer's market, seller's market, besides reading some news articles that were dated half a year back or in 2019? What is the market right now? What are the prices? Are you overpaying for that house or the property that you're buying? So you may end up buying something that's really expensive, something that is overpriced. Okay, the property might be overpriced. Now, the good part about it, maybe the bank's appraiser is going to catch it and they're not going to give you a mortgage for that house. That's the good news. But if they don't catch it, you end up with a huge mortgage and you're on your own. Now, who do you go to court to? What do you do next? And who would have told you that you are overpaying for that property if you didn't know about it? And that's why I'm saying, you think that you are going to end up saving money when in reality it doesn't cost you most of the times to hire a real estate agent, because the sellers are actually paying for the buyer's real estate agent. So the most of the times, 99.9%, simply where I am, basically, guys, I can tell you that the seller even advertises on the MLS saying that we are covering the buyer's agent's commission, so it doesn't cost you. Now, you don't overprice, you don't get an overpriced property, you don't overpay, you also don't have to, most of the times, pay to the realtor, and you get this kind of training and support and service. So let me tell you guys how many organizations there are making sure that the industry and the service to you is the best, and why real estate agents are paying so much of thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in fees to be a real estate agent and for the training and everything. Why? Here's what you need to know. So if you are buying a house, there is you, a buyer, and there is a seller, okay? That's it. Now, if you're buying with the real estate agent, there is buyer, there is a seller, there is a realtor, there is a realtor, there is a broker, there is a broker, there is, let's say, Calgary Real Estate Association, Alberta Real Estate Association, Calgary Real Estate Board, Calgary Alberta Real Estate Association, then there is CREA for Canada, and then there is also a RECA, Real Estate Council of Alberta. So all of those organizations are working together to make sure maximum satisfaction of the services, so there is no problems with what you are buying. So there is that much of organizational and legislational protection for you as the buyer. And if you don't want all of those things, don't hire a realtor, do it by yourself, and then don't complain if you overpay for something or something went wrong. It's between you, your lawyer, and the seller and their lawyer. That's it. Next mistake, I see a lot of first-time home buyers. Well, it's being too picky. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my God, I cannot be, it's a funny situation when you're too picky. Here's what's happening. You know your budget, you know your pre-approval, but then you're like, well, I want this location. This neighborhood is so nice. I get this amazing view. I love it so much. And guess what? I want to make sure my house is this size and no less than this size, built in this year and no less than this year, covered garage, walkout basement, legal basement suite, and renovated kitchen, you know, 4-piece bathrooms, 3 of them, and one for my in-laws, you know, in the basement. Anyways, all those things, you know, you start to looking around and you become too picky. Well, I don't like this color, I don't like this countertops, I don't like that location, I don't like this kind of house. It all comes down to the budget that you have. Most of the times, guys, your first time home is not going to be your dream house. I'm sorry to tell you that a first home is usually a starter home. Second home is better, but first time is almost never your dream home, guys. So prioritize on what you think is the best. I'll tell you how to do that. First, I'll tell you why you should do it. Well, if you're too picky, you're on the market for too long. I know people who have been shopping for over 2 years searching for a home until they met me. And finally, they were able to get something. But here's what happened. When you're too picky, you end up looking at the market prices slowly climbing up, and slowly those houses that you were able to afford becoming unaffordable if your income hasn't changed and if you are not making more money. So here's what happens. You might be losing out on a lot of opportunities and a lot of nice houses, waiting for years and then grabbing something that is way worth that you could have initially got for yourself. And that's the outcome of being too picky. So how to stop being too picky? Well, just prioritize what's more important for you. Is it the location? Is it the areas around that location, amenities? Is this the size of the house? Or is it that basement suite that you always wanted, or a walkout basement, or is it double or triple car parked covered garage? Make priorities, what has more value for you, then look at your budget, what you can afford, and see what you're willing to sacrifice in order to get something. Because if you wait too long, you might not get anything, and that's exactly what I don't want to happen. And that's why you should not be too picky for your first time home buyer. Second home, third home, don't worry about it. That's when you're buying your dream home. That's when you have a lot of money now with the equity of your first home as well. So that's where you can be as picky as you want. In fact, you can even build your home from scratch. The next big mistake I see a lot of people making is not considering the future. And here's the things that should look around, you know, getting married. Are you single? Are you going to be getting married? Or do you have a growing family? How many of you are going to be there very soon? Let's say you're a new immigrant to Canada, which is like, woo! A lot of subscribers from this channel are like that, let's say like that. So now all of a sudden, you bring your spouse from your home country, all of a sudden, you know, you start to sponsor your parents, and now you have your in-laws in there, and it's too congested. You wish you want to kick them out into some other apartment, but ethically and culturally, you want to keep them in your house. So now your house is too small. So consider like these kind of things. Or nearby future. You might have kids right now that are getting to the age, and you are living in Calgary, and you're going to University of Toronto, or they're going to go into Montreal or Vancouver, and you're like, well, now they left, now what should I do with this big house? And I see a lot of people selling like that. I've seen people buying their home, not the first home. They built the home, and then they were selling that home because their kids left, and because they don't need that bazooka-sized huge home anymore, because, well, it's just 2 of them now. Not 5 of them anymore, because kids went to universities, to other places. So a lot of things to think about. Consider your future, your specific case, and what you think would be the best option in terms of a house for you guys. So that's why I'm saying, think about the future. Who is going to tell you all of these kind of things? Well, realtors. So that's why we are there in the industry. So I'm looking forward to helping you buy a home. And you know, guys, I'm actually not a sales guy. Okay, so I do not like to pretend why. I'm a friend who helps you buy a house. Anyways, guys, see you soon, and don't forget to subscribe, hit a bell notification, like this video, and more importantly, let me know in the comments down below if you have any real estate questions so that I can answer them for you directly. Anyways, guys, see you soon. Bye for now. Woo!